creatures of the lone wolf, of the lone wolf, of the lone wolf.
So my name is Shelly. I work with a group called Sunshine State Sonar out of St. Petersburg, Florida. I actually live in Virginia, so when I come down here, I travel down from there, and we work missing persons cold cases involving missing persons with their vehicles. So I've always felt like had an investigative mind, I guess. I like the investigative portion of it. When I was a kid, instead of watching Nickelodeon, I'm sitting around watching Unsolved Mysteries for hours and hours upon end. I got involved with this actually because I seen a news article back in 2019, and a guy had used Google Earth to map the bus routes for the school system and seen a car in a pond. And long story short, that car belonged to a missing person who'd been missing for 22 years. His name was William Molt. And so I kind of get into it on that end from the mapping standpoint. I would go in and where they start, where they were going, and we look at everything in between. Especially when they're missing with their vehicles, we look at the water. So we've solved today, this will be 7 cold cases, and this is the oldest cold case that we've solved to date. 38 years.
And tell me what the case was that we did today.
So the case today was Maureen Sherman, and she was missing from Miami, Florida. This was a case where, unfortunately, it was a self-harm scenario where she threatened self-harm, and she had said this to her children and was never seen again with her vehicle, which was a red Plymouth Reliant K. And this case always kind of intrigued me because I was like, what if she actually did what she said she was going to do? And we just found her right in that spot.
Right behind her house.
Right behind her house. This was exactly what she said she was going to do. And we follow the clues to try to solve the case as best as possible. It's something we're super passionate about. We will sit on the phone for hours with each other and talk about these cases, look at the maps together and say, what about this location? Did this have access back then? We use Google Earth Pro to go back in time. What ponds were there? What wasn't? As much as humanly possible to try to work as efficiently as we can to solve these cases. And we work really well as a team because collaboratively, with how well they do on Sonar and then the mapping portion of it, we've had good success in the past year.
So tell me real quick, who's your team when you say we? Who's the other party or we?
So Sunshine State Sonar is myself. My name is Shelly, Mike Sullivan, and his brother John. So we're like kind of the full-timers of it, and then we have some others that are volunteers that will come in and help from time to time as like our regulars. But we eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. Yeah, we dig deep, find out as much information as we possibly can to try to solve the cases. Sometimes we try to save it as a last resort, but if we have to contact families, sometimes they reach out to us. So we'll find these cases through the Charlie Project, NamUs, different missing persons. Mapthemissing.com is another one that's a great resource because it is strictly a geographical map that actually has pins, and it shows you where the people are missing, and they're all strictly people missing with vehicles. Wow. And I think that map has about 700 people on it now, but I know collectively there's about 3,500 people in the U.S. missing with their vehicles. Wow. There's a huge need for this. Yeah. So, and we're just trying to contribute to that. We see other teams doing it, they're having success, and working collaboratively with other teams as well. Like today we were with Adventures with Purpose. Collaborative minds working together, you're going to have greater chances of, resolving a case. Yeah.